Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Immersive Engineering. Today, we're going to be covering the mining drill. And for those that are wondering, why in the heck am I actually just running down a pit down to very low levels? Well, this entire pit that I am in, this mining shaft, if you will, is entirely created, including the way down, by one mining drill, one charge, one head, if you will, which actually the fuel outlasted the head of the mining drill, strangely enough. But you can see that it mined a lot of material. That was quite a long way to go. And just to give an example, let's head back up again. Of course, that stairway was mined by the same exact thing. Head all the way back up, and we can head back towards our base. And you can see just how far away it was through perspective of that mining shaft that we just dug, or that I just dug rather, off camera. So the mining drill is a very effective tool. It's really good in combat, surprisingly, as well as for mining things underground. But it does have a few small drawbacks, and there are some different modifications, so you can customize it as you would like to. So let's get into this. All right. So you can see here on my hotbar, I have several different versions. We've got your different styles and colors, and modifications are added on to some of these, and you could even wear them with a shield in the wrong hand, switch things out. You can even wear them in opposite hands if you want, and two at once. No, it doesn't really work two at once. But you get the idea here. It's a really cool item here. And let me get into a regular survival mode here so you can see best how it functions. Now, first and foremost, it's crafted simply with some wooden grips, a heavy engineering block, which is a lot of steel, as well as steel mechanical components, which is also a decent amount of steel. So this is not an entry-level item. You're going to have had to have made at least a little bit of steel, or obtained some, perhaps through drops in the village. Maybe your Immersive Engineering local guy has a few items sitting around in there. And you make the mining drill, which is just the chassis of it. Of course, the wooden grips are made with sticks, treated sticks, and some copper. The heavy engineering block is made with more mechanical steel components, steel and pistons, and the steel component is made with steel and copper. So therefore, you have this very complex device that really doesn't do anything. But not to fret, because there are ways of upgrading that further, and that is by adding parts to it via your workbench. Now, for instance, I have a very basic mining drill here, and I can remove the head, and you can see that this is the mining drill I have here. Now, the head itself, allow me to demonstrate, is made simply with iron ingots and blocks of iron, and this is just an iron drill head. There is also a steel version here, which is made with steel ingots and blocks of steel. Basically the same recipe, just a lot of time and creosote oil added in, smelted in place with some different items that you may have already created in Immersive Engineering, hopefully. But here, this is just a simple iron drill head. And you can see here it says mining area 2x2x1, mining level redstone, mining speed 9, attack damage 6, durability 4000. And that is the head of this, not the chassis. The chassis is a completely different thing. That doesn't take damage. It actually is just something that you use to drill with, and this is kind of like the head of the pick. That's kind of like the handle in a way. But you can put that on there. You get yourself a mining drill that you can use to attack with, but it's not going to really drill very good. As you can see here, it's taking forever because it requires fuel. You'll notice in the bottom right corner there a little image of the drill head as well as a fuel gauge. Now, in order to fill one of these up, we're going to have to go over here, and I have a refinery set up that has already been making diesel fuel. This is a requirement for filling up your mining drill, and you can just, once it's got your plant oil, ethanol, combined into biodiesel. If you're not sure how to do this, I've got another video that you can check out for that. But you put it in here, and it'll fill it up. See there, it just took a bunch, and it is now full on fuel, 2,000 out of 2,000. And you can still modify that further. If you look here on this one here, it says 2,000, and I think one of them, yeah, this one here has 4,000. So it all depends on how you want to upgrade it. But that is one way of filling it up. Another way of filling it up is by taking a jerry can here. And if you fill a jerry can with biodiesel in a similar fashion to what I just did, and you can even bring it with you, which this will allow you to, if you see here, this one here has fuel 1117. I will take this, put it there, take the jerry can, put it up there, and you'll see that it will fill this with the amount that's in the jerry can. 448 units of biodiesel, and that will up this from 1117 to 1565. So therefore I have refilled it, and now the jerry can is empty. So you can actually take some fuel with you if you're worried about running out, but typically this thing runs really well, and your head will often fail before your fuel runs out in some cases. Now, upgrades. Let's get into how to make those and what good they are, and then we can test those out a little bit here. So you already know how to make the drill heads. Let's work on a pressurized air tank. This allows the mining drill to operate underwater, whereas before you might have some difficulty. So this one here is, let's see, I think the one that I have here currently has that on it. Yes, it does. So allow me to run over here underwater, and I will start trying to use this drill underwater, and you'll see the effect it has. Nothing. But this one here has the upgrade, and it doesn't have any problem at all. So therefore, you shouldn't have any issues once you put that upgrade on it underwater. Otherwise, it's just going to malfunction and not work for you at all. So that's what the pressurized air tank accomplishes, and of course it's made with some lapis, a couple buckets, and an iron mechanical component. It's not too expensive. You have 3 upgrades and 3 upgrade slots on a drill and 4 total upgrades to choose from. Now here you have an advanced lubrication system. This increases the digging speed of the mining drill. I highly recommend you go for this, and since you're going to need diesel fuel to power this anyway, you should have access to plant oil, and therefore you take a couple of plant oil buckets, 4 iron ingots, and an iron mechanical component, and you get one of these things and put it on there, and that should up the speed on your mining drill considerably. Now we have here a large tank. This increases the internal tank size of the mining drill and chemical thrower, of course, but as I'm reading straight off the screen, yes, I know, but this basically will double the fuel capacity. So if you look here, this one here, where is it here? It says 2,000, 4,000, 2,000, 4,000. So there you go. It will double the fuel capacity. You don't have to worry about filling it up very often at all. And as I said before, in this case with the steel head, it actually, the steel head broke before I ran out of fuel on a full tank. So that's pretty impressive. Otherwise, you can also add in something for combat, which is additional augers. This increases the attack damage of the mining drill, and it stacks up to 3 times. This one here has 11 attack damage. This one here has 8. These are both steel. If you go with an iron one, you're going to have 7 attack damage standard, and then when you upgrade to a steel, it'll increase it by 1, and then of course you can add 1 more attack damage per auger that you add on there. And it's a really strong and effective tool. As you can see, you just swipe, 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 swipe. It's really fast. It's very effective in combat. I have no complaints about that. So I do recommend that as well, so that if you run into zombies or whatever underneath while you're mining, you have a very effective weapon already in hand. Now, let's take a look at some of the stuff that you can do here. Now, of course, you've got the iron drill head on here. That's relatively boring, but let's check out some of this other stuff. Now here, this one you can see is damaged, so actually let's take that off, and you can see that it still keeps the additional parts and pieces. In this case, I've got the lubrication system, the large tank, and the pressurized air tank. So this can run for a very long time underwater and at very fast speeds. It's not a combat machine, but it did have an iron drill head, so it's not going to drill quite as much. Now those steel ones that I was talking about a moment ago, these actually drill a 3x3 by 1 area. They have a higher mining level of obsidian instead of like an iron pick, and they of course have a higher damage rate and durability bonus. So 8,000 instead of 4,000. It's considerably better. And since you have to have access to steel in order to make this drill to begin with, I highly recommend you just skip over the iron and you go straight to steel, because it's just well worthwhile in my personal opinion. Now you can also put shaders on this and change the look and style of your drill as you see fit, which I really do enjoy that quite a bit. And you can see it actually renders that the drill head is missing from this mining drill right now. Now, not to worry, you can actually repair these. Let's grab some iron ingots, get into here, and you take your iron drill head, not the drill itself, but just the head. Little bit of iron, and in this case it only costs 1 level. To upgrade it, it might cost more depending on the amount of damage that you have, but there you go. It is now repaired and you can use it once again. Now if your drill head breaks, you can still use your broken drill head, but it's going to be at a very drastically reduced speed. So I don't recommend doing that unless you absolutely have to, like you're stuck down in a mine shaft somewhere and you couldn't get out very well. Well, that is a way to go, and it will give you like negative numbers for repairing it. So it'll probably cost you more in the end, but it can get very expensive to repair these tools. Now, once we get into the steel one, you see here it's got some really effective numbers on there. I'm going to put these together here. These are basically just a steel-headed drill and an iron-headed drill, and they have very similar effects, but not the same for sure. Now, if you look here, you'll see like I've got a little grid on the screen right now that just showed up. This is the area that the iron is going to mine. This is the area that the steel is going to mine. So there's a big difference there already. And like I said, it's just a little bit of time, a little bit of coal, and you've got yourself a big upgrade for this tool. So once again, I highly recommend it. Now, of course, this drill is currently empty. Let me go get a little bit of fuel, and I will fill it up and be right back. All right, that wasn't too bad. Now, let's see here. So you'll see that there will be a slight difference in how these things mine, what they can mine. Not too much, but they both have a similar mining level. In order to understand where this works, because obviously with a mining drill, it's face dependent. If you're familiar with Tinker's Construct tools, it works in a similar fashion. So if I aim down on the top of, if I mine on the top of a block, it will actually dig the top face in a 3x3 by 1 deep pattern. If I dig on the side of a block, like let's break this grass here, right here you see that there's a little outline there. It will actually dig in a slice facing that side. So it all depends on the face of the block that you're currently looking at. Now with the iron style drill, it's the same way, but there's a little bit different to it. If you only want like a 2x2 tunnel, then this is probably the way to go. But once again, it's going to be not quite as effective. But if you see here, it keeps spinning around. It's like, well, what the heck? It all depends on where you're looking on the block. If you're looking in the top left corner of this block, it will aim these 4 in that direction. If you're looking in the top right corner of this block, it will aim it over there, bottom right, over there, bottom left, and so on. So you can actually control where this is headed. So if I want to just mine these 2 coal blocks, there you go, not a problem. A couple of iron, couple of gold, couple of lapis, redstone, emeralds, diamonds, not a problem. And obsidian, yeah, it's not going to work on obsidian. I mean, eventually you might be able to do something with this, but instead you're going to want the steel one. And the steel one is going to allow you to break the obsidian, as well as just about any other block that you're really worried about at that point, and at a decent rate. Of course, it's just a monster and going to demolish stuff. Now, this was unenhanced. These were all just regular speed items here. Let's grab all these things that fell down. This was just a regular speed. So if I go into here, let's get rid of these seeds, and I go with some of the ones that I've already upgraded. This one here is iron, and it has all this stuff. It's designed for faster mining. And then we have this one here, which is designed for faster mining, but this one actually is made for underwater and for damage. So if you're currently maybe fighting a bunch of guardians in a water temple or something, this might be pretty good for that. Therefore, you can actually mine your way through while fighting. But let's grab this mining drill here. Actually, I think I just left one in the table. Let me go back and get that real quick. Yes, I did. And this one, I don't think it actually has the upgrade for speed. So let's upgrade the speed on this one. Oh wait, no, that one does too. They both have the speed upgrade. So what we're gonna do is the 2x2 iron drill head with the lubrication setting. and you can see how it works very simply. It's really easy to work with. You just hold the button down and walk forward. And if you want, you could even put like torches or a shield even in your hand, and you can just continue on very simply as you would normally. Whoops, that was really good. Mining away to your heart's content. Now, if I use the steel one, you can see it's going to be much more effective at mining, because it mines a bigger space just as fast as the other one. And of course, it mines the whatever block you're currently mining here. So allow me to go get an example here. Let's head back up to the top. What I've got in mind is, oh boy, that's going to be fun. There we go. See, making steps sometimes is easier with the iron one. Now, what I'm about to describe is basically those all those blocks that I had up here. If I have something with a higher durability, like the obsidian that was here, I still have it. In fact, let's place that down. 1, 2, and we'll put it over here. 3, doesn't matter. And I put some other block like iron next to it, and I put a few of those here. All right. So if I try mining the obsidian, it's going to mine all the blocks around it, because the obsidian is the hardest one. But if I try mining the iron, it's only going to mine the iron, because currently the block that you are mining with the tip of this thing, not the surrounding ones, is the durability that the head is checking against. So if you want to mine the highest level ones, aim for the highest mining level item, like obsidian or diamonds or something like that. So if you're always aiming for the stone, you're not going to break the ores. For instance, there's a whole bunch here. You can see that my frame ignores it. As if I go right next to it, it should be highlighting those, but it's not going to, because it's doing a mining check around these, and that is not currently the right level. Even with the iron one, it's going to be the same way. But as soon as you highlight the higher mining level ore, it takes it out, no problem. Now, once again, if I hit the stone, it'll just leave the ores around. So that is why you saw, when we were all the way down here, some of the random bits and pieces were sticking out. But there is another really good thing about these mining drills, is that, well, before I tell you about the extra benefit, I should tell you about one of the drawbacks. You can't enchant the heads. Maybe you can in creative, but it's not actually going to have any effect either. You can't put luck on them or looting or anything like that. But what you can do is you can actually mine just about anything with this stuff really fast. So like gravel, dirt, plants, doesn't matter. Dirt, wood, not as effectively. Maybe, let's see, wood is just one on the side, but any of the gravels and sands and stuff you can mine in a 3x3 just as well as if you had a large shovel. So it's a multi-purpose tool. Same thing with the iron ones as well. Really, really good stuff. I do recommend you give it a try. It's a lot of fun. It's not going to be for those that want to, per se, try and get the most amount of booty with their items here, but with getting luck and unbreaking and all that stuff on there. But you can repair these. The steel head, of course, just put some steel ingots in an anvil here, like I'm standing on, and the iron head, just use some iron in there with a few levels for either one. And that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video on the mining drill, one of the really cool and awesome tools in immersive engineering. So if so, please give a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below, and if you think others will enjoy this content, feel free to spread the mischief. And until next time, folks, I'll see ya.